So, what did you miss? If you're a Drake fan trying to bug me with your wild idea that he's back after what we just heard, back up now. Because honestly, this track is a full-blown masterclass in how not to rap.
That boy Drake done dropping, I heard he talking crazy.
What did I miss?
He keeps dropping music and trying to act like he's commanding respect on any level. But let's be real. Those 3 minutes and 14 seconds of new material he just gave us, this isn't just bad. This might go down as one of the most embarrassing moments in hip-hop history. Yeah, I'd take it that far. What Drake's doing on this song versus what he was preaching to us last year, it's laughable. Words clearly mean nothing to him now. And here we are. Drake's so comfortable in his own hype that he's trying to turn his own downfall into a hit record.
If you know, yesterday Drake performed at the Wireless Music Festival in UK, and boy, he went deep. He's dissing LeBron, he's dissing Kendrick, and then he's talking about UK rappers versus American rappers. Apparently, this nigga UK rapper now.
It's honestly more humiliating than anything he's ever put out. Before we dive even deeper into how this track might just ruin Drake's entire name and legacy, get ready, because you're about to witness the ultimate breaking point of madness. For the guy who pretends to study rap battles for a living, this is it. Hit like and subscribe so everyone can see how tragic this song really is. No matter how many Drake fans want to get mad at hip-hop or at me for calling out this straight-up trash he's trying to pass off as music, the truth is clear. Everyone else can see just how badly he messed up this time. And with that out of the way, let's get serious for a second. Because right now, we've got to talk about the state of Drake.
Whoa, hold up. Hold up, this nigga is talking crazy.
This isn't just a bad song. It's not just mid, forgettable, or one of those tracks you skip after one listen. Nah, the problem runs way deeper. From what Drake's giving us here, it's painfully obvious that something's off. Let's break it down. First, we had Lil Yachty swearing that Drake was unfazed after all the beef went down. Then Drake himself dropped a whole album trying to convince us he didn't care about rap battles and was only here to keep the party lit. But now, after hearing this, it feels like Drake is either completely out of touch, doesn't respect his audience one bit, or is losing the plot in a way that's actually scary. Think about it. He spent months dropping nearly 50 tracks before this one, and suddenly he wants us to believe this is his big return moment after the beef. Let's be real here. Drake has dropped enough material to fill 2 albums since that feud ended. And yet, somehow, he's acting like this song is the one that'll flip the narrative and prove something.
I went from 6 to 23, but not LeBron, right? And if you didn't know, Drake also covered up his LeBron tattoo with an SGA tattoo. You can't make this up.
Honestly, I can't even make sense of how people are pretending this is respectable or hype-worthy. But here's the kicker. The one thing we can say about Drake right now is this. He was never unfazed. Not for a second. He felt every bit of that pressure, and it shows. This whole track feels like a crash-out confession, and it's wild to witness. This song isn't just a disaster musically. It's a full-blown train wreck on a topical level, too. The things Drake is rapping about here and the way he's trying to frame this as the start of a bold new era for his career, it's not only exposing what's wrong with him, his corner of hip-hop, or even the genre itself. I'd argue it's shining a light on what's broken in society as a whole. Think about it.
Oh man, so the other day, you know your boy Drizzy Drake Rogers dropped that track, What Did I Miss, where he takes aim at his old homeboys for switching up on him per se, saying, why you was hanging out with a hater, standing next to a hater when you used to be standing next to me? And there's so many people that would fit in that category.
Drake's entire message here seems to be about normalizing playing the victim and then turning around to sue over the very same behavior he's bragging about in his lyrics. It's wild. This attempt to push an illusion as if it's the new standard, it's unsettling on so many levels. The strangest part is how this moment could have been different. If Drake had used this track and this huge rollout for his solo album to show some growth or even a hint of maturity, it might have worked. It could have been his chance to flip the script. But instead, what he dropped shows none of that. And now he's lying in the mess he created while the world listens. And here's the kicker. Drake has gone from being known for scary hours to becoming the poster child for suing hours. The fact that he's the first rapper ever to sue over a diss track is already baffling enough. But what makes it even crazier? While he's in court over rap beef lyrics, Drake is still out here dissing people on songs released by his own label. The contradiction is so loud, it's almost unbelievable. And now, of course, there's this. While Drake keeps dodging any real shots at Kendrick Lamar, It's clear he's doing everything he can to avoid a round 2 with Dot. This whole unbothered and cool under pressure act, it's just performative coping. And honestly, Kendrick has already exposed Drake as a coward in the eyes of many, making everything Drake's doing right now look even lamer. But here's where it gets even more embarrassing. Instead of aiming at the king of rap or any serious MC, Drake puts all his energy into dissing people who literally aren't rappers. He's throwing shade at LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan, and even taking jabs at other artists like Future, whose lyrics are hardly the first thing people talk about. It's like Drake is deliberately dodging anyone who could actually clap back on wax. And let's be real, there's no point in analyzing all the random bars and lines Drake's spitting here. Why? Because at the end of the day, the bigger issue is how he's acting like this is the first time he's speaking on any of this drama. Mind you, this all went down over a year ago, and we've already been hit with nearly 50 songs worth of material from him since. This isn't just artistic fatigue, it's artistic delusion. Drake's trying to push the idea that he's getting some magical do-over with this track. But let's be honest, he doesn't even deserve a full listen from hip-hop fans at this point, especially with the mid he keeps bringing. And when you really sit back and think about the concept of this song, plus how Drake rolled it out, it's laughable. From going on streams, yelling in the street, to cursing people out like he's spiraling, it's not just messy, it's a total spectacle.
And I guess if the shoe fits, wear it. And seemingly it may have been the right size for Future, because Future, shortly after that song release, posted, "I'ma always choose being a real one over anything." So he posted this on Twitter. "I'ma always choose being a real one over anything." And look who liked the post. Your boy King James, all right? Who's King James? LeBron James, all right?
Once again, when we look at how Drake's moving, being a 40-year-old man screaming in a van to hype up his new song, that's not the best look. Add in all the extra theatrics plastered around this track, and it turns into a full-blown disaster, a shameful mess of a rollout. With this record, Drake is somehow managing to age in reverse in the worst way possible. The antics he's pulling in and around this song make him look more immature than ever. What Drake is really showing us with this whole Iceman era he's trying to build and hyping it up like it's some genre-shifting moment is that the hype just doesn't match the product. If you were sitting around waiting for Drake to fire shots at LeBron James a whole year after the pop-out, and that's what your so-called GOAT is delivering, then you're seeing the cracks clear as day. At this point, anyone with even a little grip on reality can see how ridiculous this all is. Drake didn't think this through, not at all. This track oozes bitterness and screams that he's still completely shaken by the beef. The biggest mistake Drake's making right now? He's cementing himself in history as hip-hop's sorest loser. With every move he makes, he's reminding the world he's not just one of the most underwhelming rappers out right now. He's shaping up to be one of the most pathetic stars. Period. Think about it. Drake chose to drop this song on the 4th of July, which just so happens to mark the 1-year anniversary of Kendrick Lamar releasing the Not Like Us video. And for what? So he can finally gather the courage to mention moments like the pop-out concert by name, only to try dragging them down over a year later? The timing alone makes this feel even more desperate. First off, it's almost like Drake missed the statute of limitations on all this. But even beyond that, the very idea of him going after people who aren't rappers and who simply showed support for Kendrick during the beef is wild. Drake's been broken down so badly that he's in a place now where barely anyone is backing him anymore. After dropping so many flop tracks and cringeworthy wannabe hits like Nokia, he's clearly grasping for relevance wherever he can. And what's his go-to move? Returning to the beef that already crushed him, trying to milk it for any scraps of attention left, just to feel important again.
So we all know that Drake has been throwing shade towards LeBron James for the pop-out show. And of course, the song Like That, Future song, that popped the whole beef off. Y'all remember Kanye West saying that I was talking to Future when we were chopping things up about doing the Like That remix that never officially released. But Kanye said me and Future were laughing about the elimination of Drake.
When you think about how J. Cole tried to stand by both Kendrick and Drake on 7 Minute Drill, and then look at where they all are now, it's hilarious to see how this all played out. Drake's now become the very thing he accused Kendrick of. A one-trick pony. That was his narrative to cope back then, but now it fits him perfectly. It's almost comical, watching Drake act like this beef is somehow fresh, like he's addressing it for the first time. But here's the scary part. This petty, delusional meltdown we're witnessing on what might be one of the most embarrassing songs of the year, it's setting the tone for the entire album. That's right. Drake just planted his flag in the ground, and if this is the energy he's leading with, fans better brace themselves for a disaster. There's no other way to say it. Drake has become an absolute loser in hip-hop. He's been broken down so badly by the Kendrick Lamar beef that now, in this era, which many are calling the DOD era because Kendrick is in total control, Drake is moving with zero momentum. Nobody's genuinely interested in what he's doing anymore. People are only tuning in to witness the total train wreck of a meltdown he delivers every single time he drops a track, and this latest one is the clearest proof yet. Think about it. Drake poured so much effort into this release, and still, the only thing people are talking about is how embarrassing it is. And after all the conversations during this beef, like J. Cole fans saying nobody would even be mentioning Kendrick if it weren't for the drama, or Drake fans coping by claiming Kendrick needed Drake to stay relevant, that narrative has fully backfired now. What we're seeing here proves that words carry weight. That false story Drake's camp tried to float about Kendrick needing this beef has flipped on its head. Now it's Drake who's clinging to the beef, like it's his lifeline. And the sad part? It's crystal clear. No Drake fan can ever seriously say again that Kendrick was the one chasing relevance. Right now, we're watching Drake act like he hasn't already dropped 50 songs over the past year, as if all these points about the beef are suddenly fresh and groundbreaking. But the truth? This guy is so creatively bankrupt it's almost painful to watch. It's obvious at this point. Drake is milking every last drop out of this drama just to create some kind of interesting angle, because that's all he's got left. And when you compare the rap sheets, it couldn't be more clear. Kendrick is out here playing in stadiums and dominating every stage he touches, while Drake is still stuck ranting about the pop-out. You tell me, who really got cooked in this beef? Who's still fried from it even now? Just hearing Drake rap in such a state of total denial on this track, throwing shots at random people over the same bland, lifeless production he's been recycling for years. It's sad. This isn't just uninspired. It's one of the most boring listening experiences you could imagine. No matter how you frame it, this is some of the lamest stuff Drake has ever put out. And when you really step back and look at the bigger picture, this might be the all-time low point of Drake's career. At maybe the most pivotal moment for his legacy, he's out here dissing LeBron James, again, and other guys who can't even rap, all because they stood with Kendrick. It's embarrassing to watch. Then there's the over-the-top theatrics Drake cooked up to roll this out. Riding through the city in a truck blasting snippets of the album, trying to create some fake Iceman persona to look tough. Please. All these games and gimmicks aren't fooling anybody. And honestly, I think I speak for everyone when I say I'm exhausted by it all. I'm absolutely over it. And honestly, who is this even for? At a time when Drake's entire career is hanging by a thread, who's he trying to impress? The truth is, without his label propping things up, this whole empire might already be crumbling. You'd think in a moment this critical, Drake would try something bold, maybe innovate musically or tell a real story from his own perspective. Even the slightest attempt at something admirable could have earned him a shred of respect. But no. What we're seeing instead is Drake sitting around like a bitter commentator, wishing the worst on people who, let's be real, were just fans enjoying a concert. These are listeners, not enemies. Yet somehow, they've become his targets, while the ones who actually rapped against him and sent his career into freefall get a free pass. If Drake really wanted to blame someone, his energy should be aimed squarely at Kendrick Lamar, the man he's still dodging like it's a sport. And when you finally accept the fact that Drake is now making music strictly for crash outs, people who refuse to take accountability or move on from a beef that ended almost 2 years ago, it's hard not to ask. What are we even doing here? What's the point of a song like this? It's not reigniting the beef. It's not saving his career. Instead of scaring people or proving that his music is better than ever, Drake has left us in this strange limbo where both he and his music feel completely pointless. This isn't art. It's like reading a gossip diary from someone spiraling, ranting endlessly about the same drama with no resolution in sight. Same old Drake, delivering in the most stale, derivative, and uninspired way possible. And if this is the type of music you're into, if this is what you're excited to hear more of, then honestly, that says more about how badly Drake has ruined hip-hop than anything else. I've got nothing left to say to you. But for everyone else, for the people who actually care about this genre and respect what it stands for, this song feels like a turning point. The days of Drake's mid dominating over and over again, those days are done. And if this track continues on its current path with the lukewarm reaction it's already gotten, especially for a Drake release, it's shaping up to be yet another flop. For a guy who's spent his whole career validating himself with numbers and optics, watching even these sad little musical rants crash and burn, that might be the final blow Drake's ego needs to finally pack it up and walk away. And honestly, after analyzing this mess of a record, I'm drained. I'm exhausted just thinking about it, let alone having to break it down. There's no real critical discussion to even be had here. It's too lame, too obvious once you see through all the smoke and mirrors. Drake isn't elevating anything. He's just pulling the same tired tricks. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe. See you next time.